Mr. Speaker, I would like to speak something on tax evasion today. Tax evasion on a larger scale cuts at the very root of sound income tax structure, and this involves more leakage in revenue, resulting in tax burden on the honest taxpayer. It has also made room for undesirable activities in the economy by the accumulation of black money. By the very nature of things, it is difficult to know the extent of tax evasion at present. In no country has it been possible to do so. The high incidence of taxes like sales tax, purchase tax, etc., are reported as important causes of tax evasion. A trader may not avoid income tax as sales tax. He, however, finds that if he omits the sales from his books with a view to avoiding sales tax thereon, he also gets a corresponding benefit in his income tax assessments. A controlled economy is another factor which leads to large scale evasion, as the demand for such articles is much more than their supply. They usually fetch higher prices than those of the uncontrolled ones. It is not possible to record open market sale prices in the books for fear of punishment by civil supplies authorities. Inflation and bad economic conditions are further causes. The higher the rate of depreciation of money, the greater is the incidence of tax measured in real value and greater the evasion of tax. In our country, taxpayers have become used to a certain standard of living which they cannot maintain if taxes are higher. The administration and traditional management in private sector are also tax evaders. The complicated provisions of our tax laws are also responsible. The unaccounted income cannot be used for productive purposes for fear of its detection. It is either withheld and thereby immobilized or is used for wasteful expenditure, resulting in inflation in prices. This results in a demand for more wages, which in turn leads to further inflationary tendencies. Thus, the vicious circle goes on. The circulation of black money and its appearance in the form of loans in the names of unknown parties, secret investments in the addition of properties are quite well known today. It cannot be denied that this parallel economy which is operating is indirectly causing great damage to our national growth. A number of attempts have therefore been made in recent years to tackle the problem of tax evasion by tightening up of the tax administration and making suitable amendments in the law to remove fear in public minds about disclosing income voluntarily. It is suggested that tax rates should not be fixed so high so that the idea to evade does not receive new fillip. It is found that higher tax rates are responsible for higher expense accounts. SSEs in large income groups have started giving a number of benefits in wages to their employees, which can be directly charged to expense accounts. It is recommended that direct taxes should not exceed 30% of total earning with an exemption limit of rupees 20,000. Our tax laws should be simplified and not be left to the subjective interpretation of the administration. The relationship between taxpayer and tax collector must be based on confidence and mutual understanding of each other's problems. The pressure of public opinion is a major check against any offense, and if the provisions of the Direct Taxes Act are relaxed even to a limited extent, they will go a long way towards checking tax evasion. In my view, effective relation between the income tax department and the state revenue department would be very useful. Banks and insurance companies should be required by a suitable amendment of the law to furnish information relating to deposits, loans, remittances, overdrafts, and policies. The profits retained by assessees in his business for development should be exempt from tax. A certain percentage of profit before taxation should be allowed to be brought back for expansion and diversification. One very important aspect which is not taken into consideration by the government in tax legislations is its complete indifference to find as to what is the real income of an assessee. Taxpayer is assessed on his real income, but no notice is taken of a number of other factors such as number of children, dependent relatives, medical and educational expenses of children, etc. Has the legislature thought of the real tax burden in the context of rising prices? It is in this desperate state of his real income going down every year that the taxpayer is driven to adopt means of avoiding and even evading taxes. Only real income should therefore be taxed. The public should be educated. It should be impressed in their minds that in taxing the public, the government does not want to take away their money for its personal gains and to the advantage of some, but it is for the benefit of the public at large that these taxes are collected. Dear friends, as established exporters, it is necessary that you have to make known to customers abroad about the commodities you have to sell and their quality and utility to them. This means you have to inform them about the goods you are to sell, where they are available, to whom they have to approach to obtain their requirements. Since such publicity is made by way of issuing advertisements in the dailies and commercial publications, you have to ascertain the rates they charge for booking space in them. On the basis of the rates received from them, you have to draw your advertisement plans and work out costs of this type of publicity. The costs are usually in the currency of the country in which the advertisement is published, and thus arises the need for obtaining foreign exchange to pay for the advertisements. I may inform you that if your bank is an authorized dealer approved by the Reserve Bank of India, it is empowered to make remittances to foreign countries on your behalf to meet the cost of your advertisement. Please note that all banks authorized to deal in foreign exchange are permitted by the Reserve Bank of India to remit foreign exchange only up to rupees 1000 per exporter per annum. This remittance covers expenses of advertisement in foreign trade directories, newspapers and periodicals or any other media except radio publicity. If your foreign publicity plan exceeds the limit of rupees 1000, you have to submit your application to the Reserve Bank through your bank. The application should give full details about your product, its prospects for sales in the markets selected for advertisements, the amount of foreign exchange you propose to earn by the sale of your goods, the periodicals or the newspapers selected, their standing in the readership of the country chosen, etc. You have to furnish also the text of the advertisement you propose to release. Since every word selected in the text costs much, the text must be brief but complete in meaning and effective in creating a desire among the readers to buy your goods. Thanking you. Yours faithfully.